Hello YouTube, this is Froogles and welcome to another episode of Froogles Hangar. Now I know we got a lot of people who are new on the channel, so let me explain what Froogles Hangar is. A lot of my videos are very long form, very detailed, highly accurate videos showing procedures and all sorts of other stuff, mainly in fixed wing aircraft. Froogles Hangar is shorter videos where I show you stuff that I have in my hangar, so aircraft that I'm messing around with, applications I'm trying out, maybe aircraft I'm studying and learning, which have been really the past two. This time it's kind of exposing my dirty little secret. Many of you know I love helicopters. I'm pretty proficient in the Black Shark, but to be absolutely honest, that's really the only helicopter I'm really proficient in. I do enjoy them immensely though. I pretty much have every helicopter that is available for DCS and X-Plane, and I mentioned those two sims because, to be honest, FSX and Prepared aren't really that good as helicopter sims. You really need, if you're interested in helicopters, to be looking at DCS or X-Plane. Now, of all the helicopters I've got, I have it on good authority from helicopter pilots that this one, which is the Dreamfoil Creations 407, is the single most accurate helicopter experience on your desktop. It is outstandingly hard to fly, it is very accurate, and it is incredibly well presented. So I did say a while ago I would start doing a tutorial series on helicopter flying, and soon after that I started researching and studying, and I read a few books and looked at a number of videos and realized I didn't know anywhere near as much as I thought I did, which is why it's taken so long to get any helicopter videos up, and I'm still quite a long way away from doing anything like a tutorial. But I do enjoy messing around with them, so this Froogles Hangar is going to be me messing around really with this. I'm going to try not to crash it. I'm going to try to take off, fly something like a circuit, and land, and really show you the ins and outs of this. This is probably one of the most well presented aircraft I've got as well. Let me show you why. You have a lot of click spots, and those click spots, this is great. Those click spots bring up these things. So I can refuel the aircraft by clicking on the fuel tank there, and I can just select how much fuel I want, all the way up to 100%, all the way down to empty. Whoa! I think I just broke the aircraft by cutting its fuel. I did! I actually broke the aircraft, so the blades are going to stop in a second, then we'll reload it. Anyway, moving on. See, I broke this. This aircraft is so hard that I actually broke it without even doing a damn thing. I accidentally turned the fuel off. Anywho, there's another click spot here. Look, if we click on that one, I can turn all sorts of things on and off. So I can change the style of the doors. You see they're all glass doors right now. I can put a metal frame in there. So just customize how it looks. I can put a little V window in there, which is great. I can put floats on this, and they work. They are very good. I've never managed to use them. You need to have absolutely zero forward motion when you touch water or you just tip over. You can put emergency baskets on here for carrying peoples or cargo or whatever. Wire cutters are already fitted. That's that. You can't really see it very well, but that's that bar at the front there is the wire cutters, so you can fit and remove the wire cutters. I don't know if they work, but they're cool to look at. Rotor shadows, obviously I've got those turned on. You can turn those off if you want to improve your frame rates. And there's a battery compartment as well. You can actually open the battery and plug stuff in and unplug stuff, which is great. Let's hook up a GPU while those blades are turning. See, there's the GPU. The same thing applies in the cockpit. In fact, I'm going to reload this because that ding 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 sound is going to be a royal pain. So we'll just reload the whole thing. And it's going to reload with the blades already running. Now this is, as I said, a very accurate simulation of the Bell 407. If you have studied, you can actually do a full cold and dark start on it. It's an incredible thing. I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to learn how to fly it. And as I said, this is a Froogles Hangar. I'm not an expert in what you're currently seeing. If I was, it would be a fully loaded video. Anyway, there's another click spot in here. I can click and hold that, and I can. This is a really cool feature. I can click on Smart Livery, and I can change the livery and the equipment of this helicopter on the fly. So I can go to baskets on the side with that livery, or floats on the side with that one. All sorts of wonderful stuff in here. It's very cool. Really good presentation. Only one basket on that one. That's kind of neat. Let's load that one up. And then just click it. There'll be a delay, about 5-10 seconds. And we're done. You already saw the frame of the aircraft change color there. If we pop outside, there's that frame. There's that basket. Just one basket on one side, which is going to affect the aerodynamics of this a little bit. We're actually going to take that off. I don't like having skewy aerodynamics. It's hard enough to fly this as it is. Let's go for a very simple one, like let's go for that one. Watch the frame of the aircraft here. It will change color. Done. So that's all good to go. What else can we do in here? There's a bunch of other stuff. Report. You can see how many times you've crashed it and broken it. You can reset that as I've done, so you can't see my shame. deflate the floats. If you have floats, by the way, they inflate down here on these controls here, and you can also control other stuff here like the landing lights on or off. All sorts of lovely stuff. What else have we got? Volume, quick views if you're not using Track IR like I am. If you're very new to helicopters as well, and I actually toyed with doing this for this video, but I'm not going to, you can put it into arcade mode or even rigid cruise, which is kind of one step down from arcade mode, and simplify the aircraft. We're not going to do that. We're using a stability augmentation system which is helping us with yaw, roll and pitch, but not full arcade mode or rigid cruise. That would just be lame. Everything in here also works. All these dials are very well modelled, all 3D, very, very attractive and cool looking. Really, really cool looking. Let me change this, by the way. Pressure is about there today. That's pretty much it. It sounds amazing as well. Once we get flying, I'll fire up a replay, and you can hear the sound as this moves past. Sorry about the view there, by the way. I'm moving my seat. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's try and fly this. Now, it's very, very responsive, very frisky. You need to be quite light on the controls. I'm using the X55 with the lightest spring. Gently increasing the collective here, pulling the back the cyclic. We're already starting to turn. So feeding in anti-torque. You can see the aircraft moving, and it's very, very fluid. As you can see, incredibly fluid. A huge challenge. Prior to getting the 407, I thought the most difficult helicopter I had to fly was actually the Huey. This beats the Huey. So if you, all you Huey experts, I know there's quite a lot of you out there, you might want to check this out. It's crazy hard. There, we're just about on a hover. X-Plane's ground effect is a little weak. Alright, let's see if we can increase the collective a little more. Pitch the nose forward to pick up some speed, and we'll climb on out to about 1,000 feet. And I'll show you some more of what this does. Now, it uses a force trimming system, which is kind of weird. You press and hold the force trimmer while still holding it, which I think is counter to what the manual says, but while still holding it, I release the joystick back to center, and that tends to lock everything as it was when I started to press it. So I'm currently, look, pitching cyclic forward quite a lot, and you notice I'm using, I think I already mentioned, but I'm using Track IR. I think it's essential for helicopters. I'm going to bring the nose up a little so we don't overspeed. So pushing forward on the cyclic, going to press and hold force trim, move the stick to center and let go of force trim. Now the aircraft will keep pretty much flying that way. The only thing force trim doesn't affect, obviously, is the rudder pedals or anti-torque pedals. And we're underway without too much of an incident. Let me pop outside and show you the sound on this real quick. Incredible sound system. Amazing stuff. Alright, let's try and turn around and head back towards the airport. I'm going to try to bring this in. We are actually about to overspeed, so I'm going to bring the nose up. Drop the collective a little. Actually quite a lot. That's 30 degrees of pitch. Watching my vertical speed, you can hear the wind acting on the airframe as well, which is very good. This is a very realistic flight model on this. You need to be able to hear things like I just heard, which is the wind telling me that I might be pushing it a little bit too much here. Let's roll out. A bit more collective now. Bring the nose up to about there, and I'm going to force trim again. And we're all set. Wonderfully satisfying when you actually finally do manage to get this thing in stable flight, as I think I just did. I think. Let's reset Track IR. Now, I make no promises I'm going to be able to land this where I want to land it. It's a little tricky, but hopefully I do land it. One problem I've found with this, and hopefully it's just my machine, is that if you crash, it crashes the sim. So there's quite some motivation to not crash this. For me at least, X-Plane will crash itself if I crash a helicopter, which is kind of odd. Only does it with this helicopter. And as I mentioned, I've got nearly all the helicopters that you can get for X-Plane. I think my second trickiest, probably trickier than this, is the Eurocopter. That thing is crazy hard to fly, but not really as well presented as this. And I recently got the Bell 412 as well, which is very easy. So if you're thinking of getting into helicopters and have X-Plane, I would urge you to check out the X-Trident Bell 412. That's not so difficult to fly. if you're a noob. If you want to be very realistic about your training, obviously go and get an R22 or an R44. There are two very good ones on the xplane.org store, which you can then apply the training videos that are online of how to fly real R22s and 44s to X-Plane. Just going to trim this once again. Lots of retrimming. Okay, so we passed the airfield. Like I said, not any real semblance of a proper pattern, but you get the idea. I really want to be able to land this well, because if I can, we can look at the replay. This is one of those aircraft in X-Plane that was really built for replay. It looks so good when you come in and you flare at just the right point and manage to put it safely on the ground. It just looks incredibly realistic. Okay, speed's down, so I'm watching my vertical speed at this point. I don't want to go really over 500 feet per minute rate of descent. My speed is coming up, so dropping the collective so we don't balloon, and bringing the nose up, and I'll retrim. I'm very conscious as well with this about how I'm retrimming, because it's very easy to lock in completely the wrong kind of trim and have all sorts of problems. Speed's coming down a bit more, but I'm going to trim again, dropping the collective. It does simulate retreating blade stall and settling with power, and it's violent when it happens. It's really bad, as it should be, which is why I'm keeping a keen eye on my vertical speed right now. Now you can already hear that we transitioned. We're transitioning towards a hover. You can hear those blades making quite a different sound than they were a few moments ago. Kind of cheating with track IR there. The ability to lean outside of the cockpit, but anyway. Alright. Whoa. There we are, very much approaching a hover, so the aircraft got a little unstable. Gentle movements of the cyclic and the collective to compensate for that. Now, like I said, not really a pattern. A pattern would have had me landing on the runway. Oh my goodness! Wow. I'm getting a little panicky there because this is probably the 4th or 5th time I've tried to record this damn video. Just going to settle here gently, looking outside to see how we're moving. Whoa. A little bit of a skid, but they are called skids for a reason. We'll reset the trimmer. And let me take you outside and show you that replay. Because, like I said, this thing is designed for replay. It's too cool. Let's put it back on the runway first of all. So this is where we took off. Right about there. Sorry about the sound. I'll replay from there and we'll go to an external view. And you'll see when it lifts off how very, very fluid and natural it looks. You can already see it starting to rotate at that point. Look, skidding. Amazing flight model. Really, really amazing. Very natural. No kind of drawing jagged lines in the sky like you would get from FSX. And I'm not dissing FSX, I just don't think FSX or Prepared are the ideal rotary wing platforms. And this is where we start to fly. So let's go to the flyby view. See what I mean? It just looks so good. Amazing aircraft, absolutely amazing. So at some point I would like to fulfill my promise of doing some really deep, fully loaded type videos with helicopters, but I have a lot of study myself to do. I mean, I've bought books, I've been watching videos, I've considered signing up with a helicopter training school as well. There's one very close to here called Upper Limit that I've actually looked into signing up with. Because of all the things you can put in the air in a simulator and move around, I believe and I feel that helicopters give you the best sense of actually flying. Especially when they're as well modeled as this. Look at the graphics, by the way, on this texturing outside. It's pretty cool. Alright, we'll just do one more flyby, then I'll zip it forward to the landing. Oh, there's a turn coming up. I forgot all about that. Let's see how we do in the turn. Very realistic looking. Turning, from what I can gather, by the way, is just like a fixed wing. You need to coordinate the turn. You do that with the anti-torque with the rudder pedals to stop the ball on the slip indicator moving too much. Anyway, as I said, let's forward this towards the landing. Which is right about there. And we'll just let it run from there, I think. See what I mean? Coming in for a landing on a replay. You've got that nose-up pitch. It just looks, it looks like all the helicopter movies and TV shows I watched as a kid. It's great. And we'll see how we do when we finally touch down. Bit of a skid, but like I said, these are called skids for a reason. By the way, you can do full auto rotations in this and practice all that stuff. I have tried it. I haven't survived it, but I have tried it and you can do it. A little bit unstable there. Very hard in the simulator as well to judge your height in these final stages, which is, I think, where I was having a problem. I was closer to the ground, or not as close to the ground as I thought I was. There we are. Amazing thing. I'm going to take off and fly again and stop the video, because it is good fun, and like I said, this is what I do when you guys aren't watching. So once again, before I go, this is the Dreamfoil Creations Bell 407 for X-Plane, but if you're into helicopters, I would highly recommend checking out the 412 as well, and maybe even the Robinsons that are out there. I'm going to reset trim. I will take off, and until next time, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.